Good morning. So this video clip will be illustrating or will be talking on the reference of the first day class being yesterday, because due to one or two reasons we are not able to complete that yesterday class. So in this video clip we will be talking much on reference about that yesterday class. So as I told you, before you can be able to do anything in Prota structure, make sure you have done your paneling in Autocad. It will help you a lot. So let me open this design. This is the drawing we'll be working on. So, and there are things you should know. There are two things we are taking to Prota structure, which is the grid lines and that of the columns. So but before Prota structure can be able to understand the language of these things, you must assign the layers to it, a different layer to grid line, while another layer for columns. So for that reason we have different layers here, but because this is a BIM software, it's been imported from other software. That is why we have all these things. So as you can see, this is an Autocad design. So due to that, I'll be creating my new layer for grid line and for column. So how do we do that? How do we create layer? For those that don't know how to do it, you just click on this place, then you click on this place, new layer. This is the two layer. So you left click and hold to rename. So I will write this one, grid line. Just look at the way I wrote my grid line. So why this one I will write column, just column without n, because I don't know why if okay, so that is just it. So I will just click on apply and OK. So now I want to assign these grid lines to that of my newly created what's it called, newly created layer. So I'll be using grid line. Here is it. So let me delete this section to avoid error. So once you click on this thing now, it will show you. How do I do it? I believe you highlight all the things you want and click on this place, then you select the layer you want to. Now I would also want to create columns where I want my columns to be. So I will just, before creating column, you click on that column layer to make it active. Where is it? Here is my column layer. So I'm already in my column layer. So I will be using my rectangular tools to create column where I want column here. So I can just pick this one. You can change the color, you can change the color of whatever you are doing. Like all these things are white, but I'm doing it in reference because once you take it to Prota, the Prota will understand that language. So I think my distance is off. Let me on all of them, select all. So for this dining, I have my 4 points of column. Good. It is very necessary. Let me just change this thing. This column is very necessary so that you know when. Let me change the color of this column to be something like yellow. Yes. it is noticeable. I can still increase, but all this is just as you can see. Or let me still increase the thickness so it can be noticeable. Let me know when. So as you can see now, so placing columns depends on your structural knowledge. So computer, use of software, use of structural software for designs. You must have the knowledge of the structural design before you can be able to use the structural software for that, because software is garbage in, garbage out. What you gives, it gives you out. So for this living room, we have a lot of span, so I would love to break this span at the most convenient place, due to architectural, once architecture can be amended due to the structural aspect. So I can try to place this column here, but because of the grid line, I would like to work with the grid line, but that's not by the way. So let me just put the necessary place, then we can call back to that place. So I'm just putting column based on my own structural knowledge, so you can assume to put your own columns, you understand. So I have my own pattern of putting column. Once the span is not above 3.6 meter, because this is a residential floor where I normally use the beam of 225 by 450. Once the span is above 4 meter, you will now redesign the column, you understand. You will now redesign the column and the beam. So I might try to make my column 450 and my beam 600 by depth. So but that's not necessary, because this is residential apartment, you understand. So I would love to break those long span than to have another column type, you understand. So I'm just trying to, like for this room now, okay, for this room now it is secured, okay, it is, I have column here, I have column here, I have column here. So this column will take care of this panel, while from here to here is 3.6. we have this column already, so I can just drag this. But I don't like to have a bounding at the edge of external walls, so I prefer putting column here than putting it here. This column, this portion here now will act as a secondary, as a primary beam to this point, so I prefer it that way. That is my own way of understanding and structural practice. So one, you can carry this thing and put here, it's still okay, but it's based on your own structural knowledge, you understand. So that is by the way. So I will keep on putting columns where I want columns to be. So this still will act as a primary to this point, okay. Then I have this, I have this, and I have this. This portion now will take care of this ante room. So I think with this I'm okay. So remaining this portion, let me check, sorry, let me bring out my dimension. Let me check the dimension from here to this point. Is 39. It's not that bad, but to avoid error, so I will just use this point of reference to break that span, you understand. So in that way, this window now, it will affect this window, so this window need to be adjusted, but one can still come and put it here. but I am, while making my structural or even my wall, you understand, I will always like to make an alignment of grid line, because to do the setting house and the foundation of all these things is kind of hard. To creating column here, to put column here without any other further column, you understand, it's kind of another hard thing here. So I would rather use this reference, because from here to here is now below that 3.9 meters. So with this, I can comfortably say that I am okay with what I did. So that is just it. This is 8.5 from here to is okay. So we can now look at the next thing to do. The next thing to do after creating your column, making sure your columns are in one layer and your grid line are in one layer, the next thing you will do is I don't need all these things I don't need it, you understand. So I will just delete all of them. Any other file, any other thing, let me just zoom the whole work, let me know. This is the only thing I have in now. So I can now click on, because you must be saving it is no longer as a normal drawing but as what, as DXF. And how do you now save as DXF? You can save as DXF by clicking on file, clicking on save as, then this page will comes out, then you click on files of type, you select Autocad 2.7. if you are using the higher version of Autocad, it's still very okay, but I love 2.7. so this is Autocad 2.7 DSF. You select it, then this is my folder for the class. So I will use the name I design class or something like that. So I will just use Prota design class. Let me just put it that way, Prota design class. So this is what I save. I will save it. I will close it without saying no, because if you say yes, it will override everything and you will lose the other part of your job. So I will just say no, because I have said the part of what I want to do. So I will click no. So that is by the way. Now I will open my Prota structure. I will open my Prota structure. So as the Prota structure is loading, let's just exercise a little patience. So